The Walt Disney Company has warned that they're going to have several down quarters for the Walt Disney Parks and Experiences division. There are now signs that that might continue into the summer. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is the guy that I go to when I want to know what's going on in the world of theme parks, Mr. Vash Sky. Vash?
This is per SiliconValley.com. Have Disneyland Magic Key prices finally outpaced demand? All 4 tiers of Magic Key annual passes went on sale in early March, and 6 weeks later, the 3 most expensive tiers are still available. This is by Brady McDonald. Interestingly enough, he usually writes for Orange County Register. Perhaps this was a reprint of that on a different site. I'm not sure. However, here we go. Disneyland annual passes that sold out in hours in January have been languishing for weeks since they went on sale in early March following a price increase late last year that left fans moaning about the Anaheim theme park becoming, quote, the priciest place on earth, which raises the question, have Magic Key prices finally outpaced demand? Sales for all 4 tiers of Magic Key annual passes went on sale on March 5th, and 6 weeks later, the 3 most expensive tiers are still available. The lowest price Magic Key available only to Southern California residents sold out in less than 9 hours. So the value options is what they're saying is those have all been bought up here. They have a quote from MyShot, however. Looks like Magic Key sales have finally plateaued for Disneyland, according to MyShot. For the first time since the Magic Key program replaced the annual pass holder program, Magic Keys haven't quickly sold out.
Dash, can I ask you about that right there?
Please.
Maybe you're going to get into this, but do you think that is because the product is not as good, or do you think that this is just demand for Disney parks are going down in general?
Oh, well, this is an interesting thing because we are seeing some massive discounts here on the East Coast, for example. And we know that a lot of that has to do with Epic Universe, obviously. People may be foregoing their vacations and opting for the next summer when maybe Epic Universe will actually be available. We see Disney World teases summer discounts, 30% on Disney World Resort hotels. Those are the same discounts they had last year. Remember, Christy McCarthy, the then CFO of the company, said that, we're going to have a soft summer because, the 50th anniversary was so successful, so we're going to have a downturn. Well, they're doing those same discounts again. We see that that $100 per park deal that we had last summer reemerge right here. Again, more Florida resident room discounts, even Visa card holders that have Disney Visa card holders can actually get free dining plans if they opt to book their vacation with them. We're seeing a lot of discounting here for the product, and we're seeing it on both coasts now. It looks like to me that the demand for these products, especially with the lack of investment that we've been seeing over the last couple of years, have diminished. I think the overall demand for these places, and especially at their high price points. There's not been another time in history where we paid more to get so little.
Yeah, I agree with you, of course. And, Genie Plus, of course, enters into the conversation, although that is obviously I don't want to say it's a pet issue for me because I personally believe it's strangling the parks, but we have something that was essentially free at Walt Disney World that is now locked behind a paywall. And it affects every single guest that goes into the parks, even if they don't buy Genie Plus. We have parks that are, as some have described, getting a little long in the tooth. We have a disinterest from certain segments of the population because of the view that Disney is getting a little too political in their beliefs. Actually, we have a story on the proxy vote and how that actually indicates that Disney is in trouble on the political side. More on that in another video, so stay tuned for that. This to me is an indication that Bob Chapek's long-term experiment here to see what the cap on a Disney parks vacation is, monetarily speaking, that he may have reached it, and now they're having to back away from it. And they can't say we're lowering the price of tickets, but they can offer discounts to see how long it's going to how much it's going to take in order to get people into the parks.
And this is that price elasticity that we've seen in very much recent years. Christy McCarthy talked about how they can pull all these levers in order to get more revenue generation from the parks through annual pass holder or annual pass sales or Magic Key sales and so forth. We just open those up and they'll be sold out, and don't you worry. Well, that just simply hasn't been happening. I want to read this one more line right here. Signs at the entrances to Disneyland and Disney California Adventure encourage visitors with daily tickets to upgrade to Magic Key annual passes, according to MiceChat. We've covered this a little bit before here, but it's noteworthy for multiple reasons. Again, I haven't seen these placards outside or at the entrances of these parks since the 1990s, when the annual pass holder population was just about to crest 1 million annual pass holders for the entire resort right here. And now we're seeing them at the entrance to both parks. Right now, there's a lot of refurbishment going on at Disneyland. The whole west side is a huge construction zone, which is very interesting. We have no show at the Hyperion yet. Hyperion is a big deal in terms of that daily, entertainment value that guests, especially Magic Key holders, find at Disneyland Resort. We have no Fantasmic. Now, that is on the schedule, obviously, but we haven't seen the debut just yet right here. So where's the interest? Where's the thing that keeps you coming back? A lot of that has been stripped away, unfortunately, post-pandemic. And now I think they're coming up on this thing where it's like, okay, we have to deal with a reservation system. We're restricting DAS usage, which annual pass holders are tend to want to use, just a subset of those, but it could impact your purchasing decisions. Obviously, we have a lack of entertainment in multiple venues around here. We have multiple rides being down, I think, and then we've had a lack of investment, honestly. Especially at the Disneyland Resort over the last 4 or 5 years or so. So it's just one of those things I think is really catching up to him in the worst time possible.
I think you're absolutely correct. On top of this pushback against Disney because they've gone into areas that they probably shouldn't have gone into, it's good to see them trying a little harder to get people into the parks. But right now they are really skewing towards that idea that they are a premium brand, not an all-American brand, but a premium brand. But when that premium brand needs all of these discounts to bring people in, I think that's the struggle here. I remember working with a client one time on a business issue, and they were talking about how they wanted to be a high-end boutique, and I won't say what kind of boutique it was. It wasn't anything untoward. I just am not going to out them because that would reveal personal information. But they decided to put up a sign to say, and they were something that they would charge $160 a service very easily, something that is actually comparable to a Disney ticket. But then they had this small item at the bottom that said, by the way, we're doing a $20 version down here. Well, that's a completely different clientele base, or it's somebody who's eating into that on the other side here. I think Disney needs to decide, are they only a high-end product and then tailor their business around that? Or are they something that they expect every single person to want to do as many times as possible every year over a year? When McDonald's is even wondering why you have to have people that are generally above the $45,000 a year mark before people are stepping into McDonald's anymore. That's a huge shift that I think a lot of people are getting the feeling that's happening. But data is indicating that the threshold for this low-end fast food restaurant is even getting higher. Disney needs to figure out where they are in the world and where they are in the market. And I think these are signs that they're struggling to figure that out. Maybe they're trying to figure it out, but who knows here. Vash, do you have anything else to add before we wrap this up?
I'll just say, as the economy worsens right here, we just talked about a big story about Disney cast members attempting to unionize and so forth. A good story, folks. You definitely want to subscribe to our channel for that, for sure, because it's very much in depth right there. As we see the cost of living increases and so forth, especially in the California region, Disney's, they have some competition now, for one, but two, you have a lot more discerning customers and clients who are looking to, obviously, they're more value oriented. I'll put it that way. So you're going to have to fight for those dollars a little bit more. They're going to have to put something out here. They're going to have to, fill up a lot of their empty venues that have been empty since 2020 and really, do some goodwill outreach to get people back into their price and product.
Yep. Very good. All right. Well, let's throw it to the commenters here. Is the price of a Disney vacation something that affects you greatly, or is this something that you just automatically do? Are you the kind of person that's always searching for a deal, and this kind of stuff is going to push you into the parks? We could have phrased this as, "Wow, Disney's got a brand new deal. Look at how we can get into the parks." But over here on That Park Place, we like to talk about the larger forces that cause things like this to happen. The invisible hand, as it were, to make a Dave Filoni reference. No, I'm just kidding. That's an Adam Smith reference. By the way, Thomas Sowell, if you're out there watching this video, just you have an open invite on the channel anytime you like. But that being said, like this video if you like this video, and consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.